Canada has always been a popular destination for Indian students. Thousands head there to further their studies and take a permanent residence every year. But as tensions between New Delhi and Ottawa take a recent turn for the worse, the numbers of Indians heading to Canada could be impacted. Ishan Garg reports from Jalandhar, Punjab.
For a year, Ashu Gandhi has been making plans to get a master's degree in Canada. A flight of ambition he'd hoped to make since he was 15 when he first heard about people in his neighborhood moving to Canada for work. But after India warned its citizens of, quote, rising anti-India activities in Canada following a diplomatic fallout, he's now reassessing his options.
थोड़ा सा ड्रॉप कर लो, थोड़ा सा रुक के देख लूँगा. अभी थोड़ा सा घर वाले भी थोड़ा डर गए कि नहीं, बच्चे को अकेले नहीं भेजना ऐसे पढ़ने.
Protests in Canada led by groups there demanding a separate state for the Sikh community have created a strain on India-Canada ties. And these tensions flared when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau alleged in September that Indian agents played a role in the death of a Canadian Sikh separatist leader labelled a terrorist by Indian officials. India has refuted Mr. Trudeau's allegations that its agents were involved in Hardeep Singh Nijjar's death. And in a sign of deteriorating ties, it has demanded that Canada withdraw a majority of its diplomatic officials from India. The fallout is more than just a living room conversation in Ashu Gandhi's family. It watched as India suspended visas for Canadians and worried about tit-for-tat measures by Canada, which could push thousands of students and millions of US dollars sunk into school fees into limbo.
क्लास से बिलोंग करते हैं, हमारी फैमिली भी मीडियम क्लास ही है. हमने जैसे तैसे कुछ मनी अपने पास सेव किया, कुछ हमने इधर उधर से पकड़ कर भी इनके बच्चों के लिए तो माँ बाप सब कुछ करता है, ठीक है नहीं. उसके बावजूद भी अगर कुछ आपके पैसे ब्लॉक हो जाते हैं या पैसे वापस नहीं आते या कोई.
With bilateral ties still not back at what they used to be, Ashu is looking for an alternative education destination and seeking help from counsellors. Visa consulting services and English language coaching centres. Hundreds of these businesses line the streets of Jalandhar, and it's a very common sight across most major cities in Punjab. A lot of these businesses have been around for decades, sending students and young workers to different parts of the globe. But one destination has always been more popular for the residents of Punjab, and that's Canada. ESS Global is one of many visa consulting services in Punjab with a specialization in securing Canadian student visas.
तो मंथली आप कर लो 500-700 हज़ार, इतनी 800 से 1000 every month.
According to some estimates, 136,000 students from Punjab went to Canada last year, making up a part of more than 340,000 Punjab origin students in the country.
Country एक रहेगी Canada, जहाँ पे IELTS की रिक्वायरमेंट भी कम है, स्पाउस भी जाने इकट्ठे शुरू हो गए हैं, एंड डॉक्यूमेंटेशन की भी कोई हाई लंबी चौड़ी लिस्ट की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है.
But things are now beginning to get complicated. Canada has warned that Indians could face longer visa processing times. While Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly says Ottawa isn't escalating tensions, businesses say if ties do worsen, India's $1.4 billion visa consulting industry could be in trouble.
100 बच्चे में से 60%, 70% एप्लीकेंट वो है जो कहता है हमने कनाडा जाना है. 30% इज फॉर यूके, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, यूरोप एंड यूएसए. सो एक बार के लिए तो पूरी इंडस्ट्री हिलेगी कि अगर ये एक्चुअल में हो गया तो.
If that happens, students looking to move to Canada could reduce, especially as many like Ashu look at countries such as Australia and New Zealand to build their future. A decade ago, there were only 32,000 Indian students in Canada. It's now tripled to roughly 118,000 now. In fact, India was the largest source of international students entering Canada last year, 4 times more than the second largest group, the Chinese. Reports say Indian students contributed $10 billion to the Canadian economy in 2022, about half of Canada's total income from all foreign students. So diplomatic tensions could hurt the Canadian economy drastically as well. It's a row that's hurting both sides and complicating the lives of thousands like Ashu. Ishan, Garg, CNA, Jalandhar.